6 days ago, I strapped a small camera to my cat Luna. It hung from her collar, so I saw things as she saw them. She loves to go outside and run around pretending to be a mighty hunter. Sometimes she doesn't come back for a few days, so I started to wonder where she went when she disappeared in her little adventures. The camera sent live footage to my laptop, and I used some recording software to record all the stuff I was missing while I was at work. Yesterday, I decided to watch some of the footage that had accumulated during one of her routine disappearances. It was amazing to see how she saw the world. Everything was so huge to her. She chased birds and mice and even other cats. It was hard to tell where in the neighborhood she was at any given time because of how close to the ground she was. A part of the recording catches my interest. She's walking up some steps that aren't mine. There are cat dishes out for her. They even have her name on them, but they're not mine either. She was totally cheating on me. That little stinker. The dishes are near a gray-colored door that slowly opens for her as she trots over to the food. She enters the home, presumably one of my neighbor's houses. The floor is a light brown carpet and furniture legs loom over her. She follows what looks like a man with very hairy legs into a kitchen and gets hand-fed a piece of some sort of uncooked meat. They're big, masculine hands with a gaudy glass ring on the middle finger. The hands are coated in what looks like blood, probably from whatever meat he just gave her. The man wanders out of view for a moment while she chews her treat. I idly wondered how regular this occurred. Maybe this is why she was looking pudgy. She leaves the kitchen and heads down a hallway. Her head bumps the door open, and all the camera can see is tiled floor and the porcelain base of a toilet. Must be the man's bathroom. She hops onto the toilet, and the man's torso comes into view. Like his hand, his shirt is covered in blood. My heart beat faster as cold fear settled into my stomach. Was he hurt? Could this man have been injured and nobody knew? Was he even still alive? It looked like a lot of blood. He must have reached past the cat because he suddenly got closer, then retreated to his former position. Except this time, he was holding a knife. Had he hurt himself with his knife? It was covered in blood too. I couldn't see any injuries, but he must have hurt himself badly to have this much blood everywhere. Luna must have become uncomfortable with his sudden proximity because the camera angle suddenly shifted. She had leapt to the edge of a bathtub. What the camera captured next will haunt my nightmares forever. In the bathtub was an elderly man. Not the one Luna had been following around the house. Not one of my neighbors either. He was probably 70 years old, balding, and dead. His eyes were open and staring into nothingness. He was so soaked in his own blood that you can hardly tell that his skin had taken on the gray pallor of death. His throat was cut wide open like a gruesome smile. The man's stomach looked like someone had frantically stabbed and sliced at the flesh until it was all but obliterated. Large holes had been carved out, seemingly at random. Handfuls of intestines had been pulled through these holes. I slammed the laptop shut, leaned over, and puked. I couldn't stand to watch anymore. Sobbing and wiping vomit from my face, I threw my laptop into its carrying bag. I grabbed my keys and jammed myself into my car. Pretty sure I broke every traffic law in the book as I frantically drove to the police station. I got to the station and the officer at the desk laughed at me when I told him my cat had witnessed a murder. He asked if I needed a cat whisperer to help Luna testify in court. He took things more seriously once I convinced him to watch the video. Then came the questions. Endless waves of questions lasting deep into the night. My laptop was confiscated as evidence. Fine with me. Eventually, they were satisfied with what information I could provide. I gave them my phone number, an address, filled out some paperwork, and was told not to leave town in case they had more questions. When I finally walked out of the station, I was met with glaring sunlight. I'd been there all night without realizing it. I headed home in a kind of daze, exhausted physically and emotionally. As I turned onto my street, my neighbor from 2 houses down motioned for me to stop. He was waving an envelope over his head. "Hey there. You look like you can use some sleep. Party too hard," he joked as I rolled down my window. "Something like that. What did you need?" I asked. I was in no mood for conversation. "Well, it looks like your electric bill got sent to my house by mistake. Opened it by mistake, but I figured you want it back," he replied. "Oh, thanks," I said, reaching for the envelope he offered me. I froze as my eyes fell on the hand offering the envelope. A big masculine hand with a gaudy glass ring on it. "Nice ring," I said faintly. "Thanks. A friend of mine died very recently and left it to me." He grinned rather manically as he told me of his friend's passing. "How sweet. I'm sorry for your loss. Anyways, thanks for my bill. See you around," I said with a vacant smile. I rolled up my window and drove the rest of the way home. My hands shook as I dialed 911. They did say to call with any further information.
This concludes our story. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.